Here's a quick guide on how to stay underweight and level your endurance in Tarkov. Now, keep in mind, I'm on PvE, but this all should apply for PvP as well, just some of the items might be a little bit harder to get. My strength is currently level 25, which means I can carry an extra 15% weight, but that shouldn't matter because these tips should apply for any amount of strength. So as an insanely quick summary of everything I have to say for this video, we want to carry not F1 grenades, but instead VOGs or RGD5s instead. You can buy these from Prapor. You want to make sure that the plates that you're using for your armor are made out of polyethylene. And if you're on PvE, you can go ahead into factory and get them off of PMCs that have CPC equipped, or Jouks for a tier 6 one because it's going to be a lot more rare. And for PvE and PvP, you want to go ahead to Ragman tier 4, do this barter for 3 rollers to get 2 of your polyethylene plates at tier 5. And then if you want to, you can do a sledgehammer barter to get a defender 2, and that'll give you a nice piece of armor to put the plates in. And as last bit, make sure to buy Meldonin and use it whenever you need to. The first big thing is going to be nades. We have an F1, a VOG 17, and an RGD5, which are pretty much identical. They have similar explosion delays, they do similar damage, and they also have a very similar explosion radius. The main difference, however, is their weight. You'll notice that a VOG 17 and an RGD5 are half the weight of an F1 grenade. I'm not going to advise completely getting rid of all of your F1 grenades. I'm just going to say that you want to mix in a couple of VOGs or RGD5s along with your F1s. Now, obviously, F1 grenades are a lot easier to get than VOGs, being sold by Prapor 3 at a time for 9,000 rubles. But VOG 17s aren't that hard to get, as they're only around double the price on the flea market, at least in PvE, and they're also a barter for mechanic for 1 fuse. On top of that, the RGD5 is also sold by Prapor at a little bit higher of a cost, but also with an increased limit. So here's the difference between 2 VOG, 2 F1s versus 4 VOGs versus 4 F1s. About 1.2 kilograms to 2 kilograms max. While nades are only going to make like a 1 to 2 kilogram difference in terms of your raids, the big difference maker is going to be the kinds of plates that you're using. This right here is the whole reason that I made this video. It's a plate made out of ultra high molecular weight polyethylene, otherwise known as poly because holy fuck that name is insanely annoying. This is a tier 5 plate that doesn't even weigh a kilogram, and on top of that it repairs absurdly well. Like, I'm not kidding, these things last for fucking ever. Now, one thing I'll mention is that poly doesn't block the most bullets. That title goes to combined materials and Titan in terms of the materials for the plates. These two block the most, followed by poly and aluminum, which I don't have because it's only a tier 4 thing. And in the very bottom, you have ceramic and steel. Fuck ceramic, by the way. This is a piece of shit material. This thing will block all of 1 bullet before breaking permanently. Fucking hate ceramic. Anyways, I'm getting all that information from airwingmarine's video. You can watch his if you want to get more information, and I also might be wrong, so I still recommend watching his to get more accurate information. But to just show you guys the difference in terms of the weight, right now this is my current rig. I got a Defender 2 on, and I put in 2 polyethylene plates, and I weigh 28.5 kilograms. Now if I put in 2 tier 5 plates of combined materials, these ones right here, you can see I weigh 33.5 and I'm already overweight. So yeah, you really want to get your hands on these polyethylene plates if you can. As for how you actually get the plates, so for the people on PvE, the way that you get the tier 6 and 5 plates is probably just going to be running factory and just finding the CPC, this one right here, or the Jouk on PMCs, and just, you know, hitting headshots. The CPC is actually like not super rare, but it's also not super common, so, you know, you'll have to do a couple of raids to probably get any of these, but, you know, the plates last forever, so it's worth it. And the Jouk is really rare, but it's also a tier 6 plate, so, you know, positives and negatives. But yeah, that's how you get it on PvE. As for PvP and also PvE, you can go ahead to Ragman, and I think you have to unlock this, but tier 4, he has a barter for the HPC right here. You get 3 rollers, and out of that, you're going to get this plate carrier with 2 polyethylene plates, both of them tier 5. Now, if I was on PvP or I somehow ran out of the plates on PvE, I would do this barter to get the plates back, and then I would buy a sledgehammer to do the barter for a Defender 2. Now, the Defender 2 is a solid piece of armor because it gives tier 3 protection for the neck and also some other areas, and on top of that, the barter gives you these 2 ceramic plates which will break immediately after a scav gives you 2 buckshots. But then you can swap out the dog shit for polyethylene and you're good. Hopefully the flea market prices for rollers and sledgehammers aren't too high in PvP, but honestly I can't say because I haven't played that for a long time. Also, preemptively, I apologize if this makes the prices of gold wristwatches and sledgehammers increase massively on the flea market. But the last tip I have to stay underweight is to use drugs, specifically Meldonin. Meldonin gives you 10 strength, 20 endurance, and 0.5 stamina recovery, all at the cost of hydration and energy recovery, and it also lasts for 15 minutes. And on top of that, these debuffs won't last that long, and they also won't matter as much if you have high enough metabolism, which you'll be getting naturally because you're having to drink and eat stuff because you have Meldonin. Even if your metabolism isn't that high, you can go ahead and bring a can of like peas with you and you'll be fine. As for the price of the Meldonin, it's about what, 30 something to 50k on the flea market, at least for PvE. I imagine it's a similar price for PvP, but I can't say for sure. But honestly, just always carry Meldonin on with you. It's so good. I love Meldonin. This thing lasts forever. I love Meldonin. It's so fucking good. Always carry Meldonin on you. I swear I'm not addicted. But yeah, Meldonin, very good for staying underweight, even if you're not going to be following any of the other tips. Always carry one on you. So as an insanely quick summary of everything I have to say for this video, you want to carry not F1 grenades, but instead VOGs or RGD5s instead. You can buy these from Prapor. You want to make sure that the plates that you're using for your armor are made out of polyethylene. And if you're on PVE, you can go ahead into factory and get them off of PMCs that have CPC equipped, or Jux for a tier 6 one, because it's going to be a lot more rare. And for PvE and PvP, you want to go ahead to Ragman tier 4, do this barter for 3 rollers to get 2 of your polyethylene plates at tier 5. And then if you want to, you can do a Sledgehammer barter to get a Defender 2, and that'll give you a nice piece of armor to put the plates in. And as last bit, make sure to buy Meldonin and use it whenever you need to. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Now obviously a big problem is that an F1 grenade is super accessible. Why the fuck do you have 300?
500 cigarettes.
Now obviously F1s are super common and very easy to get compared to other Why do you have 300 of these? They're the most common thing. Why do you have fucking 300? You motherfucker, I'm gonna have to... Alright, whatever. Somebody bought the